They call it the ultimate summer camp for trail runners. Welcome to day one of TransRockies race. The TransRockies Run is a race unlike any other. The race features both a 3-day and a 6-day option. Regardless of which you choose, the race starts out with race registration and kit pickup. In addition to the normal t-shirt and information that you get, you also receive a huge duffel bag which you'll use for the remainder of the week to store all of your belongings. And of course, after that, it's off to the mandatory racer briefing where all racers are gathered to hear details about the course and the week.
We're really committed to providing the best experience we can for you guys this week, both on and off the trail.
Thanks to the course guys. We have over 30 years of experience on the course team. So if you guys get lost, it's your fault, not us, okay?
Shortly after the race briefing, the skies opened up and unleashed an amazing storm that flooded the streets of Buena Vista. But then it was off to bed to get ready for day one, which was 34 kilometers long and over 3,000 feet of climbing according to my watch. We all lined up in the start chute and waited anxiously for Highway to Hell, the theme song for the week. Here we are, start the race, day one! After a short stretch of road and crossing a pedestrian bridge, we started the race in earnest. Although it was neither the highest day nor the hardest day, there were still some challenges with the fact that we were fully exposed on this day, so the cloud cover was a nice touch. The surface we were running on featured a lot of rocks and gravel and sand, as well as some open roads. But all told, it wasn't that difficult, but was a great taste of things to come with some nice sights along the way to keep us entertained. In addition, there were some fantastic aid stations which, as with most ultra runs, featured a lot of eclectic food, including snacks and fruit. They were manned by some great volunteers that we got to see throughout the week. When he finally popped out onto the road, we crossed these 3 stone tunnels that were an old railway, and then had to face a long, grueling road of falls flat to the finish line. Once at the finish, it was a great feeling to cross the line and know day one was done. Once again, there was lots of food on hand to help replenish our energy stores and drinks to drink up to keep us hydrated. Then you can make a quick walk down to the river to cool off and soothe those aching muscles.
TransRockies Day 2!
2, 1, get her down, boys, girl! Day 2 is underway. First up, some flat road before we turn up to a big, long ascent. And that ascent was, in fact, the climb up to Hope Pass. At 12,600 feet, this was the highest point in the entire race, and of course featured the scenery that you might expect at those elevations. Those of us that stopped long enough at the top to admire the views were treated to a 360-degree panorama of mountains all around us. But with the limited oxygen, you didn't want to stay up there too long before plunging down to the trails. The first aid station was located high up and was only accessible by mule and horse, so there were limited supplies but still staffed by the same friendly volunteers. The remainder of the course was a great technical trail heading back downhill and then following along Twin Lakes on a gravel path that featured a path through Interlaken, a resort ghost town. At the finish, there was of course water where we could again chill our weary bones and muscles.
2, 1.
Day 3 is underway. 40 kilometers of fun in the sun in the mountains. At 40 kilometers long, this was the longest trail of the entire race and also marked the end of the trail for the 3-day racers. The course itself took us up and over a few passes and through Ski Cooper before we finally crossed the Tennessee Pass and entered the Continental Divide National Scenic Trail into Camp Hale. Camp Hale was a World War II winter combat training site, and that final true gravel road tested our mental strength. Luckily, once we crossed that finish line, we knew that we'd be camping here for the next 2 nights. Speaking of which, remember those huge duffel bags that we picked up at registration? Well, each day at the end of our race, we'd pick up our bags and get them brought over to our campsite for the night. Amenities on site included this amazing charging station where everyone could keep their watches and cell phones charged all week. We also had mobile shower trucks to keep us clean and happy. Included at the finish area was this amazing chill zone, which we later renamed Blisters and Brews, where we had a wide array of snack foods and drinks on hand. In addition, each day, During this time, we had an awards presentation for the day's winners, where each category winner got their medals and pictures taken. Later in the evening, during our meal ceremonies, we had our general classification, where the leaders received jerseys to wear the next day to identify themselves as the leaders in the overall classification. Speaking of the food, it was amazing. We had Galloping Gourmet or Cowboy Gourmet or something like that follow us from site to site, preparing amazing meals for us, including theme nights such as Mexican or burrito or steak night. All in all, it was great. It also gave us another opportunity to sit and relax and just chill out with our fellow racers and learn about the races. And of course, it wasn't all just racing, as you can see by this video of an impromptu beer mile that was held at Camp Hale, featuring some of the finishers of the 3-day race and even some 6-day racers. Well, that's it for now, but stay tuned for days 4 to 6, the last 3 days of this race, and see how it finished.